All
Right.
right, looking at fall camp, Derek Mason looking to improve on last season's 6-7 finish, which of course was considerable progress over what happened the year before in his first year in Nashville. So your thoughts about fall practice and where we stand right now?
They just started second week of fall ball, and they're I think the have a few holes to fill with the offensive line. They don't have any seniors this year on the offensive line, so it's a fairly, I guess, considered young line. But Norcross has to fill the holes of Will Holden and Barrett Gauger, but he's got some big beefy guys and some talent up front that I think will step up and do the job. We do have to fill Mason has to fill the Black Death defense hole left by Zach Cunningham. So Oren Burke should be the one that'll step in and take over that position. Oren has always kind of been he started out as linebacker, then he had the star position that was created for him, and now he's moving back to linebacker. So he's a pretty versatile player. He's a very smart player, and he seems to he is flexible. He knows where he needs to be and knows what he needs to do. So that the defense, I think, as long as Mason's in charge, should have no problems keeping up. Kyle Shermer is, I guess, officially a veteran now as our quarterback, and he was on fire the last two games of the season against Ole Miss and Tennessee. And Vandy Nation is really hoping that we have that Kyle Shermer back for the entire season. He was very consistent and was, a passing freak those last two games. So, and then we also have Ralph Webb, who is on schedule to break several rushing records this season, and his counterpart in Kari Blasingame. So it's a pretty solid offense. It's a great team, I think. They should be fun to watch. And again, there's always the doubters that have them ranked really low in everything, but that's okay. We can be some top 25 spoilers and have a great time with it.
Well, Kate, in looking at the offense, it was a bit surprising what Kyle Shermer was able to produce in the entire passing game in the last couple of games of the regular season. We'll discount the bowl game. Vandy fans love to emphasize the last two games of the regular season.
Yes,
the bowl game was pretty
do. Regular season.
the bowl game was a bit atrocious offensively in particular, and couldn't really keep up with NC State. But looking at those two games against two quality opponents, Kyle Shermer, for a Vandy offense that has been almost non-existent in the last couple of years, or especially Derek Mason's first year, it was really rough in the passing game. Ralph Webb, somebody that we all know about, and you mentioned he's on the cusp of greatness in regards to the record books, not just in Vandy history, but in the SEC. If he produces his typical 11 or 1,200 yards, 1,300 yards, he's going to finish roughly in the top 5 to 10 in all-time rushing figures in the SEC. So he's right up there. And Kari Blasingame, not a guy that I was familiar with the season before, but he shared carries starting with that South Carolina game in the opener and was very impressive. So a rush attack that we expect out of Vandy, but not a passing game that we're accustomed to seeing, ripping up more than 300 yards per game in those last couple of games. So it will be interesting to see if they can carry that kind of balance into 2017.
I think that Mason has hinted that it's going to be more than just Webb and Blasingame, as well as his running for his running game. He hinted at a lot of offensive talents, whether it's the tight ends or the receivers. We've got a lot of big guys back that are, kind of flying under the radar, and it'll be a fun offense. I think if everybody's clicking and gelling, they should be good to go.